It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag, it's the emblem for which we fight. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the white. Every eye gleams bright for the red and the white as we sing this song to you. What do we sing? Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the red and the white. It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag, it's the emblem for which we fight. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the white. Every eye gleams bright for the red and the white as we sing this song to you. What do we sing? Should If you are a wondrous boy, then sing along with me. We are the Eagles on the road to victory. All for one and one for all, we'll answer to the call. We're the greatest team of all. The Wanderers forever, we will always keep together. We will always do our best to see it through for the good old gold and blue.
Good evening and welcome to TIO Stadium for this round 7 clash of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season between Waratah and the Wanderers. We've got the coin toss on screen now and the Wanderers have won. They'll kick to the airport end of the ground. Braden McLean and Mitch Taylor, the co-captains there in the middle against the Tars' Brodie Carroll. I'm Will Zwar. With me calling the game tonight is Ashley Manakaros. Welcome, Ashley, and pleasure to call with you tonight.
Yes, mate. First time for the season. Interesting game lining up tonight, 2nd versus 8, and perhaps on the ladder not so, doesn't look such a enticing contest, but I watched Wanderers last week, and they actually did really well for basically 3.5 quarters, and then Pint got away from them. We'll see what happens tonight. Big Simpson up front, and Liam Patrick also up front for the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. It's on paper, it's a pretty interesting game. The Wanderers lineup looks very exciting, but they just haven't really clicked together so far this year. You wonder if tonight will be the game. If it is, I think they'll still have their work cut out for them. The Tars are probably the premiership favourites at this stage, obviously second in the ladder behind Palmerston, who have the bye this weekend. But I hear that they've put in a mountain of work in the off-season, and so far it's definitely look like that on field as well.
Yeah, and the big thing about Waratahs is they have a fair bit of depth, and if you follow the star stats which come out during the week, you'll see that week in, week out now for the first 7 rounds, or first 6 rounds anyway, they've had players down to number 18 in double-digit disposals, which is huge. Just quickly, your umpires today will be Mark Noonan, who's wearing number 20, Tim Bitterscombe, who's wearing number 5, and in the middle with the ball, making his debut, is Bailey de Graaf, and he is actually from Alice Springs and is making his Premier League debut tonight, so congratulations to him.
So players just moving into position. Ashley, any last minute tips for this one?
Oh, look, I think I'm going to have to stick with Waratahs. I think that they've, across the field, they're a little bit more balanced, but I will say to you, the difference, if Wanderers are to get up, it'll come from whatever happens up forward with Liam Patrick and Ed Simpson. And Stephen Motlop, let's not forget him.
I think it'll be a commanding victory to the Tars tonight. They'll keep on their merry way. Stevie Motlop, as you can see on your screen, starting in the middle of the ground. It'll be Kirby on Simpson in the ruck. And Kirby with the first hit out. Simpson, he's roved the contest. Gets it to half forward now. Running to it is Shane Thorne. Looks like he'll be beaten to it by Seal. Picks it up. Comes back now to Bowd. Out of half back. Big long kick down to half forward. Silver lurking, but a good strong mark there. He's gone to Darcy Hope. Yet to see him play in the flesh, Ashley, and excited to see what he can produce tonight. He goes into the forward pocket now. Good spoil there from Mitch Taylor.
Yeah, Mitch Taylor, easily the best, one of the best defenders in the competition. And as a co-captain, sort of leads from the front in the defensive back 6. So we'll get a ball, get to restart play. No score yet. And in fact, we'll just have a hold up there because, as I say every week, the umpires can't leave the playing arena. So one of the players, and in that instance it was Jaden Magro, had to go and get it. And the play will be restarted here. Pretty good field position for Waratahs. Kirby will go up against Simpson. So good equal height. Kirby got a hand on it, went backwards. Coming through was Magro. Taps it out. The big fella Arnold Kirby tries to push off one, gets caught. Play on is the call. Comes out the bottom, still loose on the ground. Dragged out of there was Wheatra. No, in fact, it was Daniel Clee. So Clee will end up with it. We get a quick play on. The Eagles come out of defence. Off hands. Centre wing, out loose. Tars will go back into attack. Hope with Darcy Hope with a huge tackle there. O'Connell picks it up to a running teammate in Brodie Newman. Newman gives a short pass over, but it's picked up by Collis. Collis with a short pass picks out his other teammate, who's I haven't quite. That's Bowd. Bowd goes in looking for Magro, taken out of it. Kirtley Silver in there, throws it out. Motlop Stephen picks it up. Harried handball goes on the ground. Totten with a quick hands again. His handball is chopped off, comes back to Collis with a short pass. Collis eases it down to a teammate.
Goes down to Magro. Magro with the big, strong leading mark. About 70 out from goal, a long way from home. Goes to Hope on the fat side, just overcooks it. It'll be kicked out of there by the co-captain McLean. to a running player at halfback. He comes down a step further to Totham. Totham, one of the better players for the Wanderers last year, but turns that one over. And it'll be Jack O'Sullivan kicking back to Collis. Wasn't easy, and he's tackled at full forward by Patrick. Umpire will ping him for holding the ball. And not a good kick there from Jack O'Sullivan. He's put his teammate Dylan Collis, the vice-captain, in a bit of a predicament. Wanderers will have the first fewest shot on goal tonight.
Well, if you're going to bring it back into that, hopefully we'll get a replay of it, but if you're going to bring it back into that middle corridor, you've got to be so certain. And you probably don't want to be sending it back into the middle corridor with someone like Liam Patrick around you.
Absolutely not. Played a handful of games for the Gold Coast Suns. Definitely knows where to find the goals. So Patrick walks in. Just pushes that one to the left.
Well, he has done himself a disservice there because he did all the hard work to actually earn the free kick. The Eagles are on the board though. We've gone 3.5 minutes. Just the 1 point. Wanderers in front. Dylan Collis will restart play. Doesn't have a huge number of options. So he runs his full quota and then sends it out. Not a great kick. It's going to bounce. Picked up by Stephen Motlop at the 50. 50 picks out his teammate. And there's a hold in that marking contest. And it was Shane Thorne that will go back and have a direct shot at goal. 45-degree angle, not much to speak of in distance.
As you said, Ashley, 2 errors there, and that one from fullback from Collis. You don't want to turn it over when Stevie Motlop is potentially on the end of it. Wasn't the best kick from Motlop, but he did enough to get it to Thorne in a good position, who I think either way he's either going to take the mark or be given a free kick for that late hold. So Thorne, he walks in, and again, they just missed. He's not happy with that one.
Well, they had an opportunity here. They probably needed to be a little bit cleaner.
So kicking out from fullback will be O'Dwyer. Very, very competent player, both when he's defending and when he's attacking, as he is in this instance. Exits the 50, gets it down to the wing. The kick will come down and snaffled forward again by Waratah. Silver's at the fall of it, doesn't get a kind bounce, but puts a tackle on McLean. Ball comes out the back, now comes out this time to Scott Carlin again. He goes inside 50, Magro the target, rolls around, breaks the tackle. Plenty of time on his left towards goal, and that one has gone through. So Wanderers down one end, not making the most of their opportunity. Waratah's down the other, kick the first of the game.
Now, how good is he? We'll watch that. I think we'll see that on a replay. Here we go. Just watch him shrug off this tackler. It does Carlin come in, the Geelong Cat VFL player, and then Magro, second touch, just shrugs off his opponent there, Clee, gets out of it and puts it through.
And just looking at him there as well, he just seems like one of those players who always seems composed, always seems in plenty of time and space, and time almost stops around him when he's got it. He's just worked through that one beautifully. Well,
if you notice, he was a left footer, and that seems to be one of the characteristics of left footers. Kirby in the middle against Simpson. So Wanderers this week going for the big man in the middle rather than up forward. One out by Simpson cleanly. Loose on the ground there. Carroll can't pick it up. Dances around. Now it comes back to his teammate in Golden. Golden puts it on the boot and picks out Eddie Morris. And a free kick and inside the zone, and so a 50-metre penalty will be paid by umpire Mark Noonan, and it'll take Morris right into within range, you would think. And he's telling everyone, I'm going to have a shot. Not much of an angle to speak of, so no worries about that. Distance, he'll probably end up kicking from about 30 out, 35 out. Good field position. So they're looking for their second. And he makes no mistake. Umpire, all the way through, Morris.
Umpire barely moved there, and very handy footballer, Eddie Morris. He playing for Banks Bulldogs last year in the Division 1 competition. He won the Mitch Lee medal. He also won the club goal kicking and best and fairest awards, and finds himself playing very well at Waratah this year as well.
Been some good Mitch Lee medalists over the years, Will.
Plenty of them.
So Tars, 2 straight goals, 12 points. Eagles 2 points. Perhaps opportunities missed there, Will, and they might see this punishment continue on.
In the middle, Kirby on Simpson again. A mouth-watering clash in the ruck tonight, Ashley. Kirby got that one. Ball comes down, but Simpson, he's roving it. Throws on the left to that full forward position with Patrick lurking at the back. Balls come forward of the pack, though. Now looking to be swept up by the Wanderers. Totham dances around a couple. Getting through their seal. He gets it out wide now. Nearly a big strong mark there from Andrews, but he couldn't get onto it. Just jumped a bit early and under the ball. O'Dwyer now, he's running through. Kicks it out to Carlin in the middle. He couldn't take the mark. Puts himself under pressure. Paddled out there by Wheatra. Wheatra to Thorne, gets it back. He handballs it out wide now to Matthew Motlop. Matthew Motlop goes back. Handball out wide from McLean. This time to Keenan Smith-Thompson, but the Tars make the most of some unclear play. Hope the target couldn't take the mark. He got a fist into it. Jared Andrews now doing work in the back line. Brody Newman also onto it. Big strong tackle from Will Collis.
Yeah, there was a high tackle there, well picked up. Mark Noonan out of zone. Brody Newman was just grabbed there, and it was Dylan Collis who was the culprit. In fact, it was William Collis and the brothers, both with the blonde, taken high in that marking contest. Again let go. Another high tackle paid out of zone, and it will go to McLean. No, we'll get a look at his number in a moment. Eagles restart play. Off hands, Patrick gives it off to the youngster in
Tyson White. Just bounced the wrong side. It bounced in the middle of the goal square and has bounced through for a behind. So it comes out now from fullback to Collis. Keeps going down that far side wing, looking for Benulis. He takes the mark. Told to move it now, told to play on. He's got a runner. He goes to him in O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer down the wing. It hits a big target in blue and gold in Eddie Simpson. He now goes short to Totham, couldn't take the mark. Tottenham's been all over it early, snaps it forward. At the fall of it is Keenan Smith-Thompson. He takes the mark. He now goes inboard to Buckland. Can't take the mark. Wanderers making a meal of it, but running through is Tyson White. Another behind for him. 2 in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, perhaps that build-up with the work of Keenan Smith-Thompson could have got a little bit more. They certainly used it pretty well. Ed Simpson, they got out of trouble in the end and put themselves in attack as Dylan Collis looks to bring it back in for Waratahs. 2 straight goals, plays 4 points. Collis goes in short. Has a look upfield. Again, no, it's a turnover and it's going to land in the hands of Totham. So Marcus Totham can send the Eagles back in, and he does. No, there's a 50-metre going to be paid because the Waratahs player moved off the line before umpire Noonan called play on. And the Eagles will go straight into the goal line. And you would think Marcus Totham will put it through from here, Will.
Yeah, he's a very handy footballer. I think he finished 3rd in the Nichols medal last year. He does. So first for the Wanderers tonight. They're on the board. They trail by just 2 points. It's Waratah 2 goals straight, 12 to the Wanderers. 1 goal for 10.
As we see the turnover and the kick in there, and then the player leaves the line, which you can't do until the umpire calls play on, and umpire Noonan hadn't done that. So 50-metre given away there. You're right about this ruck contest in the middle there. Arnold Kirby has been one of the quiet achievers in the ruck contests around the competition so far in the first 6 rounds for Waratahs. And Simpson has spent most of his time up forward. But now you've got 2 ruckmen with a bit of height going at each other as Kirby comes in. Simpson Tried to out-jump him, but it ended up in Kirby, and Kirby put it down to Carlin, who put it straight on the boot, straight over that right half forward. Tapped around. Good, clever play there by the Eagles defence, and Wheatra will clear it out for his teammate. And the boundary line will actually be the saviour because the ball bounced in front of Clee and Collis. The ball will be thrown in on the Waratahs forward side of centre wing. Kirby and Simpson again. Good contest. Got a bit of a nudge. Kirby got his hand on it though with a hit out. Still trying to get through there though was Clee. Then it comes back to his teammate McLean, the skipper. He gives it off to Stevie Motlop. Stephen over the top. Good one-handed mark there.
Tyson White again. He's been lively early.
White plays on quickly. Sending it up, looking for his teammate. Backlund. In there as Butson can't pick it up. Oh, coming through with a spin beautifully was his Eagles teammate who put it straight on the boot, but it's going to be marked and will be relieved of pressure from Sam Brody.
Good, strong defensive mark there, running back with the flight. Not an easy kick, not an easy mark, sorry, but his kick just as good. Finds Ed Morris. He now goes to Dill Collis. Goes back on his mark. They're just making sure of them here, the Tars. That one, however, Simpson got some hands in the way, and it looks like Wheatra will be rolling back around, gets her hands in the middle to Totham. He started on fire. Now here with Cabillo. Cabillo goes forward, short and sharp. Inside 50 now. He spots a man in the pocket, and it'll be Butson. Another one with the peroxide hair, Ashley.
You don't reckon that's natural?
I wouldn't have thought so. And he'll line up from about 45 out by the time he kicks it, on about a 45-degree angle. So Butson waltzes in, kept it tight, just hit the post. So they don't have their kicking boots on tonight. 1 goal, 5. They trail by just 1 point, the Wanderers.
Yeah, they're going to need to convert those chances as Dylan Collis brings it out, trying to pick it into his teammate there in Morris, but it's a turnover in the hands of Stevie Motlop. Oh, he's almost got through. Joel Cabillo just taps it out, pushing him aside as Dylan Collis. In there again. Here they come out through Edward Morris. Hands dragged down. Play on is the call. Bo O'Connell from 50 sends it towards the goal. It's going to be touched on the line. Wow. Great. That was fingertip stuff.
Great work there from the fullback O'Dwyer. Another one I've mentioned. We mentioned Mitch Taylor tonight, but O'Dwyer's another one who's underrated. He just gets the job done, and I think Mitch Taylor, Daniel O'Dwyer, and probably Ryan Nyhouse are the 3 big fullbacks of the competition. O'Dwyer from fullback kicks it to the big ruckman, but it falls short. Goes to Butson. Butson gets her hands as he's tackled, but only as far as Magro. Magro wheeling round on his left. Not a great kick. He's plucked a Wanderers player at centre-half back in Wheatra. He'll cross ground now. Goes to Fuller. Fuller goes out to Taylor. Doesn't hit him, will make him run. He's got Silva in pursuit, but he'll keep going. Clee, he now takes it. Outside of the boot, he finds Thorne. Thorne takes a few steps back. Wheels round onto his right now, told to play on. Just goes across goal. Stevie Motlop the target, probably not in the best position for it. O'Connell, he picks it up, runs away, snaps towards goal, will bounce a few times. Getting onto it, Seal. Seal under pressure, ball pops out of his hands, picks it up again, now goes outside 50 and he finds Collis.
Yeah, they got time to settle it down there. A bit scrambly, but they did well. Good build-up by the Eagles then. Just fell short. Stephen Motlop again the target. As Collis sends it back towards centre wing. Or just a little bit of a nudge. Play on is the call. Picking it up there, though, is Mitch Taylor. Taylor puts it straight on the boot. 2-on-2. Dylan Collis in the air. O'Connell roving at the front. Tries to break one. He's got to give a hurried handball away. Here they come. The Eagles trying to settle it. The Tars trying to get it out of there as Collis. Handball to nowhere. Picked up, though, by Simpson, the big man. Back to Brody Newman. Newman has come down from half-back. Sends it back inside. Patrick with use of the body. It's going to bounce free here. Trying to get through there, but socket off the ground. Will go out of bounds. Was Tyson White, who had his hands in there. He's expressing his frustration. And not happy about the ball going out of bounds. Good work by the Eagles' defence across that midfield. Will?
Yeah, they've just kept it in their forward half the last couple of minutes now. Hopefully they can be rewarded for it. Ball on the deck now. Motlop, he gets it out. Only to a Tars player. Magro getting involved again. Now comes out to Butson. Butson will throw it on the boot, but it's smothered instantly. Now rolling towards the boundary line. Ball still kept in though, and Magro had it on a string the last few minutes. He picks out a teammate in Carlin. Carlin will go forward to the run of Magro, gets it back. Silver's there in support if he needs him. Just uses him to sidestep around. He now goes inside 50 to Hope. Hope takes the mark. No, he doesn't. Spills out. Mitch Taylor didn't have to put some pressure on. Paddles it back through. Hope gets a handball out. Running onto it is Marcus White. Goes towards goal. And it's gone through. Well done to Marcus Waddy, sorry. Great goal from the forward pocket there.
Just watch this replay because the handball from Hope, but watch the pick up and step of Marcus Waddy here. So Hope under pressure. Taylor tries to paddle it away. Handball's over the top. Watch this pick up. One bounce, bang, scoop, straight in. Not great goal.
Managed to get onto a position. I like what he did there. He didn't sort of run around and try and snap or check side. He got straight in line with the goals, has lined himself up and has kicked a drop punt straight through the middle.
3 straight goals, 18 points. As we are approaching the 15-minute mark of this term. The Eagles 1 goal, 6-12. So 6 points to margin. 7 scoring shots to 3. The Eagles should be much better on the board, you would think. As Kirby comes in against an undersized ruckman in Backlund. 2 Eagles players collide. Still loose on the ground. No one can get clean possession. Reaching in there. Trying to get it out was Arbin. Now it's run away by Tars though. Hope punched away from Taylor. Good contest this will be all night. Brody Carroll takes the bump. Hope puts his opponent under pressure. Bouncing ball. Picked up, it lands in the hands of Totham. Totham with a right foot and not a great kick. Picks out O'Dwyer. Now it's a short pass. And it comes to Sam Brody. Brody can go forward. Dylan Collis making position, but he ignores him and comes to boundary side. Off hands, though, taken out in the contest. Play on was the call with Sammartino. It's landed in the hand of Bowd. Bowd goes back in board. They're not really looking, the Tars players. Addison didn't have his eyes on it. It comes to the hand of Kirtley Silver, though. He runs back into trouble, then runs around it. Then he's got a hurried kick looking for a pass, and he finds him. And he has picked out O'Dwyer, who passes it off to Magro. Magro, left foot from outside 50, bounces it through for a point.
I think it's just bounced off the post there, Ashley. Beautiful kick. I think it's just nicked it on its way through, shaved it, and unfortunately couldn't convert on. Beautiful play there from Kirtley Silver. Took a couple of risks. Obviously, you mentioned he's run back through traffic there, but he's quick enough to get through it and spotted out a teammate on the opposite flank. Wanderers now back in the middle, and Stevie Motlop's got a couple to beat, but he's got pace to burn. Keeps it in front of him, keeps it to his own advantage. Joining in there is Matthew Motlop for support. Stevie now goes back, finds Dos Santos. He takes a mark. They'll try and calm the play, get it back onto their terms. He goes across and finds Boys.
They've got space in the paddock here, and Liam Patrick leading.
Plenty of runners coming through as well. It's Jared Andrews. He's at the fall of it, can't take it. Now tackling Scott Carlin. Umpire will call for a ball up.
Well, Patrick was making his way into the big hole at the back of that contest.
And possibly an opportunity gone missing there. They had plenty of runners they could have used. Kirby probably winning that competition at the moment in the ruck. But Wanderers with a hospital handball collected by Collis. He wheels around, kicks it forward. Didn't look though, and finds Braden McLean. Goes a short, sharp one inboard. Finds Nathan Arbon. Arbon goes across into the middle of the ground. Now to Patrick in the hot spot. Good fist out the back from the defender. Now with Carlin. Carlin hands it over the top to Don't. Don't kept going to Benulis. Benulis made to work. He's tackled by McLean. Barely got a handball out. The umpire said play on. Now comes back to Brody Carroll. Safe hands with Brody. Not a good kick though. It's found Totham. Totham will keep going. He clears the pack, and gee, that's not a good kick into space. O'Dwyer will take that easy as you like.
Dwyer looks further upfield. He's got a runner, and that runner will be Jake Bowd, although it's going to drop over the top of him and end up in Cree. Cree's got time to turn and pick it up after the first fumble, but it comes back to Bowd on the run. Bowd can look inside the forward 50. Magro's there, uses his body trying to get away from him though, and Newman comes in. It's not Newman, in fact it's DeSantos, and a hold has been found. It'll go against Magro and go to DeSantos, who goes back in board, picks out Daniel Wheatra. Wheatra looks again into centre half forward and picks out his own teammate Fuller. Fuller turns and goes and comes to O'Connell off his fingertips, but he's got time to regather on the bounce, and he does, and he has a bounce, has a second bounce, running through centre half forward. He's got an open goal. He's going towards the goal square. It's going to bounce through for a point. And once again, the Eagles go to the wrong side of the goalpost. 1 goal, 7-13. They trail 3-1-19.
Really, they should be making more of their opportunities, Ashley. They've had 8 scoring shots to 4 and they trail by a goal. It's probably been a pretty even competition on the field. But just down the end, Tars' accurate kicking is rewarding them. O'Connell, he now comes back to Clee. Clee goes short to Totham. Totham takes a good strong mark. He's put on a bit of weight in the off-season. He now goes across to Thorne. About 50 metres out on a slight angle.
Well, I can tell you now, I've seen Shane Thorne kick him from here and over the years. So hopefully this is well within his range. He seems to think so, and he's prepared to go back and back himself, which is, I think, what they need.
So Thorne, he'll walk in. As we tick towards quarter time, he just goes a short, sharp pass to Steve Motlop. Can't take the mark. And again, another opportunity wasted for the Wanderers. Waratah, they'll mop that up. Now it comes out from fullback to Waratah. Waratah takes it easy, and that's the quarter time siren. So Waratah have a 6-point lead over Wanderers, 3-1-19 to the Wanderers, inaccurate 1 goal 7. We'll be back after this short quarter time break.
To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and it's nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. It's the round 7 action in the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season between Waratah and Wanderers, and Waratah with a 7-point lead over the Wanderers. It's 3 goals, 1-19. I think the score on your screen there is just one behind short. Wanderers 1-7-13. And it's a pretty even contest on the field. Wanderers kicking is certainly keeping them behind in this one. Obviously, they're just a goal behind, a straight kick behind, but those straight kicks in front of goal in particular have been hard to come by. I'm Will Zwar. With me tonight's Ashley Manakaros. What have your musings from the first quarter been tonight?
I just think that Wanderers have had their opportunities, as you talked about, and they did squander it. They've been pretty good through the midfield. People like Bo O'Connell, Marcus Totten, and in and out of the game, Stevie Motlop have been critical. And across half-back, you've seen Mitchell Taylor make life difficult for Darcy Hope, and also Daniel Weitra popping up there. But, you know, Tars, people like Jaden Magro, who's got one, Eddie Morris, who's got one, and Marcus Waddy, who's got one, you know, they're the difference. They're able to convert in those difficult circumstances where the Eagles have had set shots, free kicks, earned them, missed them. And you can't afford to be missing those sorts of shots. So I think it's still going to be a battle of the midfields, and I think there's a little bit of feeling out that's been going on. And I think at the end of the day, we'll see this come down to the fitter of the two sides lasting, and on that basis I probably still wouldn't be changing my tip just yet from Waratah's.
Yeah, I think Waratah, as we said, it's been a pretty even clash in the middle, but Waratah almost don't seem like they've quite moved into third or fourth gear yet. I think if they do manage to switch it on, could get out to a handy lead, but at the moment Wanderers are sticking right with them. And as you can see, the two ruckmen on screen, Kirby and Simpson, has been a very entertaining clash so far tonight. Kirby probably winning it in the air, Simpson probably a bit more lively around the ground. So we'll be watching that one intently. We've also got former AFL star Steve Motlop starting in the middle tonight. Simpson gets a hit out, almost roves it himself, gets a handball down. Now there through boys, he kicks it forward to Thorne. Thorne taps it over the back to Matthew Motlop. Gets boot to ball on the ground, gains some meterage. Now comes back there to Buckland. Buckland gets it back to Thorne, and Thorne throws it on the right towards goal. It's offline again. And that one through for a behind.
Yeah, just snuck through. Hang on, question mark here about whether it actually went through for a point or out of bounds on the full. And they're just having a consult here just to make sure that they get the call right. And the goal umpire, Jenny Rowe, goes in and calls a point. O'Sullivan will restart play here for Tars. Plays on. He's going to kick to a contest. Bouncing ball over the back. Just picked up there by Carlin. He's been good since he went into the mid-zone. Back. Here they go again. Tars in forward, bouncing over the top. They've all got to turn back. Fuller's going to lead the race to the ball. Handballs to his teammate Newman, who comes back quickly to his other teammate in McLean. McLean kicks it up to a contest off hands. Dragged down there was Matthew Motlop. Picked up by O'Sullivan. He's wrapped up and dragged down as well. And a free kick has actually gone to the Tars player in Waddy. Marcus Waddy earned that. Comes back inside and he picks out Addison Don't, who juggles it. Play on is the call. Can't get it away. Wrapped up by Nathan Arbin, and umpire Noonan says give it to me. So Addison Don't took a couple of bites of that. Couldn't bring it down.
And Ash Backlund just down behind play. Looks a bit ginger. We'll keep an eye on him. Tars, however, they're moving it forward. Carroll takes it, throws it on his trusty left. It's a big high ball inside 50. Magro at the fall of it, can't take the mark. Silva also lurking, but first to it will be Fuller. He's tackled. Ball still in contest. Don't. He's at the bottom too. Motlop and Carroll beat him to it. Ball still spills out. There's a free kick going the way of Motlop. Carroll's just gotten him low. Ping for tripping. So Motlop assesses his options. Just a short one. We'll find boys.
How good's that delivery?
Motlop trying to get it back. Looks like the captain, Brodie Carroll's playing a tagging role on Motlop in the middle tonight. That kick, a good one out to Clee. Mark Pade very close to the boundary line. He'll come backwards to his skipper, Braden McLean. He's got a short, sharp option from Steve Motlop, but he'll ignore that. Just goes long down the line. Target there, Eddie Simpson. He's paid a free kick for a hold. Vaughan scoops it up to him. He looks forward now. He's got a big, strong lead from full forward. Ignores that from White. Umpire tells him to move on. He just goes short. Didn't really like anything, so he gives his teammate a crack. Calls for a lead. Now kicks it deep into the pocket. Simpson the target. Lots of Tars players flew. Collis was there to catch it on the ground. Big, strong tackle there from Marcus Totham. And umpire calls for my ball.
Yeah, no prior opportunity there. There was a few Tars players in the air then, not many Eagles. They all decided, one or two of them decided to stay down, but it just went the wrong way. Kirby wins out, hands over the back top. Looks like Golden will, and Golden and Andrews will race for the ball. Boundary line will beat them both. And we're going to have a restart here. We look at the Tars bench making moves. Waratahs lead 19 points to 14. They've been going nearly just over 4 minutes. One out by Simpson, hands down. Well, taken high. Over the top there was Totham, and a free kick's been found. And Totham will earn a free kick and will actually have a shot at goal.
I think it'll be Boys taking it for Wanderers.
Right. Oh, Thomas Boys. So Boys is the one that actually earned the free kick. Taken high in that tackle, and he'll go back and have a shot. He might kick from just inside the 40. He's gone back a long way though. He's starting his run up outside the 50, and he's on about a 45-degree angle. His Boys comes in, sits it up nice and high, and hits the post.
Is it a case of the Yips actually 1 goal 9 they've got? A lot of them gettable, and a few more where they probably should have had a shot on goal and they've passed, and it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, look, I don't know, but they can't afford to be missing goals like that. They just can't afford to be missing the goals as Collis brings it back in and picks out O'Dwyer. And he'll go further upfield, and he does, to the leading Addison Don't, who holds that on the chest. Don't just turns, then just puts it over the top to his running teammate, and O'Dwyer gets it again. Now they've just got a reasonable build-up. This Carlin in the middle, racking up the stats tonight, Scotty Carlin. Looking for Magro. Magro with 2 bites takes the mark.
Beautiful hands there, Magro. And since he came up here last year, I think he kicked 5 goals on debut in round 1. He's been a superstar of the competition. Definitely pushed his case in vote counting in the Nichols medal last year, but probably had a few teammates to contend with. This season probably hasn't had the surprise factor he had last year, but he's still been very impressive. Lining up for a goal here. Good kick. He's happy with that. His second of the night. And Tars extend their lead, making the most of their opportunities down their end. It's 4-1-25. They lead by 10 points to the Wanderers. 1 goal 9-15.
Well, we'll get a bit of a replay here. Here it comes. Just in short. Picks up Scotty Carlin. Carlin looks up looking for Magro. He's got Magro on the lead. He's just out of screen at the moment. And there's Magro. 1 bite, 2 bites. Through for a point. Through for a goal, and that sets it up. And they have now extended their lead. 4-1-25 to 1-9-15. So they're keeping themselves just in front, and the Eagles at bay.
Simpson, he goes up. No one gets a hit out there. O'Connell got boot to ball there, just keeps it gruttering along the ground. Picked up there by Smith-Thompson. Only as far as the Tars plays, and they look to rebound strongly, but a good quick tackle there from Totham. He'll get it back. Kick intercepted there by Carlin. Carlin gets it forward to Cree. Handball from Kirby over the top in to Sammartino. Kick then comes forward. Taylor came in very strongly from the back, put some pressure on. Morris gets her hands out there to a player by himself in Waddy. Waddy goes to Hope in the pocket. He's got 2 to beat. Had a good crack at it, but couldn't take it. Running through now is Benulis. Benulis gets her hands out. Carroll running onto it, gets through one, almost taken high to Morris. Morris running through, kicks a goal, and 2 in a minute. And Tars just making something for themselves here. Morris joins Magro as a multiple goal kicker, his second for the night as well.
Yeah, gee, the build-up was very good. They just kept moving it forward and made each other work, and then they burrowed under. And again, we'll see on the replay there exactly how hard they worked, the Tars forwards, to keep that ball moving forward. We might not get a chance of it early, but that was a great goal from Edward Morris. So Jaden Magro with 2 and Edward Morris with 2. And Marcus Waddy with 1, giving them 5. 16 points, the margin here at TIO. Buckland goes into the middle against Kirby. Undersized ruckman, Kirby takes the position, holds one out by Backlund though. Held off the ball was Carlin. Play on is it, comes to Dylan over to brother William, who buries his head, wrapped up though by O'Connell. And umpire Bitterscombe comes steaming in to restart play. Just forward. Wanderers forward of centre wing. Backlund couldn't quite get a hold of it. Thomas Cree wrapped up and slung to the ground. Play on is the call. Butson's in there, held to him. And again, we'll have another restart. Trying to really keep this ball going. Buckland, one out by Kirby, but it's cleaned up by O'Connell. O'Connell turns it on to Boyce. Boyce onto Thorne, who steps 1, steps 2, then back to Boyce, who's taken and slung to the ground by William Collis, and he'll earn a free kick. There's a bit of push and shove between Thorne and Collis. Dragged over. Umpires are going to have to get in there and sort this out, and they are. Free kick has been paid. They're trying to keep everyone out of it. Thorne wasn't happy with the tackle. Let go. Play on now. Tars go into attack. There's been a bit of a free kick paid here, and it's going to go to Shane Thorne. No? Or is that Thorne? Yeah, it's going to go to Shane Thorne. Cree looks like he is the culprit, although he's on the mark. Play on quickly to O'Connell. Steps back into trouble. Wrapped up by Brodie Carroll. He gets caught holding the ball, and it's a turnover again.
Ferocious attack on the ball there from the Tars, and Wanderers probably just being a bit too cute there. And great work from Brodie Carroll. He leads by example. And they gave away the free kick. That didn't stop him. He said, let's turn it over, boys. Now comes out to O'Dwyer on the half-back flank. Pushes it up to half-forward. Not a good kick, but still got a hand in there. Big strong tackle again. Thorne sitting on top of him, and they ping him for holding the ball.
He's saying he ducked his head there, and that's what the free kick's for. Well, Butson got him for holding the ball. The umpire pinged him for holding the ball, but he said he ducked on him.
So Butson, he kicks it forward. He finds Clee. Clee plays on. Goes into the pocket. In between a few of his teammates. Patrick runs around. He's tackled very well by Seal. Seal kept going. Ball comes out from Bout to Seal. Seal knocked as he got it, but he got it to Kirby. Kirby takes the mark. A quick, short, sharp one over to Carroll, but just overcooks it. Bounces over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in just in front of the Wanderers bench.
It's getting hot in the tropics here, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of passion in this one.
Well, I think we want to see the Eagles stand up and establish themselves, and I think the Eagles supporters will want to see that as well, and I think they just tried that there. Shane Thorne going in to help out a teammate that was on.
Kirby gets her hands out. Butson getting to it as well. Good tackle, Butson. He gets it back. Now with Backlund. Backlund intercepted though. Magro getting involved. So too Carroll. Carroll got a hand. He copped a bump. Magro. He's kicked that inside forward. Now Hope the target to drop the ball. Big Brodie Newman flew. They get it out the back, and running into an open goal will be Addy Don't. Just sneaks it through. But the Tars again extend their lead, and they're out to a 21-point lead. 6-1-37 to Wanderers 1-9-15.
They play as a team there. We've just started to see the replay, but they play as a team there, the Waratahs, and so it doesn't matter who's in the position. It's in the player in the best field position that they go to, which is exactly what happened then. Just haven't seen what happened with Brodie Carroll. Did he end up going off? Looks like he might have.
No, he's
up. He's up and going inside the 50. So certainly got a bit of a hit there. It was Daniel Wheatra, and in fact, good sportsmanship there. They're both giving each other a tap, going, "You all right, buddy?" So they would have. They played a lot of junior footy against each other here in the top end at TIO Stadium here in Darwin. You're watching round 7 of the NTFL. 2022-23 season. One out there by Kirby, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It's socket off the ground. Carroll held, punched away by Waratah, and a hold has been paid. Jumper came out there as Carroll goes in short, picks out his teammate in Golden, who was the one that got it out of the midfield in that centre bounce down, and Golden has a look up. He really doesn't have any options here early on. Only 13 minutes gone here in this second term. So Golden's decided that he's going to go back and have a shot. And he'll probably kick from outside 50. Puts it straight up. It's a beautiful looking kick, and it's just snuck into the left. And the Tars are on their board for the 7th. And Golden's first.
Starting to build a good lead here. They've kicked 4 goals in this quarter to 2 behinds. And that margin now out to 28 points. It's been one-way traffic probably the last 10 minutes or so here, Ashley.
Yeah, it has been. They've lifted a little bit, and they've put their head over the ball and perhaps got in front, which was a little bit of the difference.
Good footy IQ there from Brodie Carroll. You would have seen on the replay. He just, as soon as he got the ball back, he knew that his teammate was out there. He's kicked it straight to him. And he's a tough nugget. Obviously, we said last contest he copped a big hit. Got straight back into play, and he's back in the middle now. Simpson, it was probably Benulis who got the hit out there. Running through, though, was Matthew Motlop. Simpson, he now gets the clearance. Thorne running onto it. He's been lively. Also coming into it is Backlund. And there's still a bit of heat in this one. Collis gets the free kick.
Now it's Dylan Collis.
Just commanding his players. Looks like he'll do a switch kick across ground. He does now to Waratah.
Gee, they got the runners. They got some runners.
Goes inboard to his captain in Carroll. Plays on. Comes down to a 2-on-2. Benulis just taken high. Hands himself the free kick. Took the mark anyway. Goes back inboard to Carroll. He's been left alone. He now goes out across to Goulden. Goulden goes further wide. Not a lot going on up forward, so they just kick it to the big ruckman. And big Brady Newman out the back takes the mark. Safe hands there. He's got Jared Andrews on outside 50 if he wants. Instead, he might go shorter. No, it's a 50-metre penalty.
Well, I'm not sure. Someone ran through the mark, but I thought it was an Eagles player. It's kind of an Eagles 50. As Brody Newman comes into the centre of the field and then sends it forward. Punched away by Dylan Collis. Regathers his own punch. Handballs over the top to Magro. Then gets it back. Then goes in short to Carlin. Carlin onto Kirtley Silver. Silver's directly in front. Handballs over the top to the big Kirby. Kirby takes one step, right foot, snap, and clears the goals. All clear.
Starting to get on their bike here, Ashley. 8-1-49 to 1-9-15. And you wonder what the scoreline would look like if the Wanderers had been a bit more accurate in that first quarter and made the most of their opportunities.
Well, they'll be ruining this as Kirtley Silver handball over the top. Newman had to go to him, but he just took one step. Did Arnold Kirby, right foot. Yeah, I think that at half-time they'll be ruining those missed chances. That doesn't mean it's over and done with. There's still a half a footy to go, but you'd think that the Eagles need to get on at least one or two before the end of this quarter. There's a fair bit of time to go.
The flags all pointing down that airport end as well. How much of an impact that's playing on this game? Probably have to wait till that third quarter to see if Wanderers get back on their bike. But as you said, there's still time for them to take some of that lead back away from the Tars in this quarter. Umpire calls play on in the middle, and the ball still in dispute. Boys, he's getting a hand on it, holds it in. Umpire will call for a ball up in the middle again. So Simpson this time on, looks like it was Benulis in the middle. The Tars work it forward. Newman, he gets a handball down to McLean. McLean out now to Waratah. Waratah out on the back flank, gets it to the wing. He finds Cabillo. Cabillo keeps going. He moves it forward. A shocking kick, though, and it'll roll over the boundary line. And it's not even close to goal, actually, but this game, they've just been wasting it when they've had it in paddocks of space like that as well, where they really should be doing better, taking a bit more time. and just assessing their options.
Yeah, the kicking, the disposal efficiency of Wanderers wouldn't be very high. I think they were sitting amongst the other teams at around about 62 or 63%, and the side they're up against around nearly 70. So efficiency-wise, and that's proven to see a bit of a problem. As a free kick's been paid, and it will go to Waratahs, and it will go to San Martino. One of the other things I make is I don't underestimate Will, and I've seen him play a few times, is there's a turnover here and it'll go to Arbin. Arbin puts it on the boot. Don't underestimate, and this is a good example, Dylan Collis, how good the back six of Waratahs are.
Collis, he goes inboard to Seal now. Seal plays on, comes out to this grandstand side wing, finds Don't. Very long kick, but laser beam like. He's got Eddie Morris leading forward. He'll go to him. Morris had some pressure coming on from Weecher and couldn't take the mark, but it's still alive. They get it out now to Sam Brody. Sam Brody to the hot spot. Darcy Hope sitting for it. At the back, socket through, and it has gone through.
Marcus Waddy.
Marcus Waddy kicks his second as well. Fantastic read of the play there from Waddy. Hope was up against, he's in it, probably not on the right side of the contest there. You'll just see on the replay, ball comes out again. Sam Brody just runs to the paint, kicks it to the hot spot, doesn't blaze away, helps his teammates. Won't get up there, but Darcy Hope probably not on the right side of the contest there. Ball was going a bit long, and Waddy was just waiting, lurking, got boot to ball at the right time. It's dribbled the right side of the goalpost.
Yeah, margin opening up a little bit here now. 40 points the difference as we approach time on and half time.
And it's 6 goals to nothing this quarter, Ashley. Waratahs have really asserted themselves in this contest.
Two big men go at it. Neither of them get a fingertip on it. It's tapped over the top by Samantino. Running onto it though is Brody Carroll. Can't quite pick it up. Gives it off to Carlin. Carlin handballs it to... He was looking for Sammartino, but it's intercepted though by Boyce. Over to a Bo O'Connell, who goes in short. Butson can't quite get it. Here they go again. O'Connell soccers it off the ground, picked up by Thorne. Thorne's quick hands out to Matthew Motlop. Motlop puts it towards the goal square, looking for cousin Stephen. Dropping on the ground, can't quite get there, and the ball goes out of bounds under pressure, courtesy of Jake Bowd, keeping Stephen Motlop honest in that contest. Well, that's the type of play that they need, but they need it to be a scoring option. Will? Yeah,
absolutely, and you've just seen it perfectly there. Bowd probably... Stephen Motlop's an ex-AFL star. He's played with 2 clubs, played a couple of 100 games, but that back six of the Waratahs last year as well took them into a grand final. They couldn't convert that into a premiership, but it's such an underrated unit, and they just back each other. They've got a really good set of structures, and they're really hard to get through. Carroll, he now picks it up, gets it back to Bowd. Bowd gets it out to a runner there in Brody. Now down to the wing. Good work from Newman. He's always hard to get through. He goes forward to Simpson, so the 2 big men combining for the Wanderers. About 80 from home, a long way. Goes short, sharp, backwards to Weetra. Weetra also assessing his options. Another short, sharp one forward this time to Joel Cabillo. Again, they're just unsure. No one really offering a lot up forward. He finds Totham a little bit closer to goal. Still a bit too far out. So he goes to the hot spot. Ball spills out the back. The big ruckman Kirby's there. O'Connell gets boot to ball. Only as far as the Tars player. They work it out now. Benulis try to get a hand in there, but it's looked like it'll be marked by Dylan Dos Santos in the forward line. It's just edged his way up there, and he'll have a chance for a late goal for Wanderers.
Well, they really need this goal. It would be a good way to end the half, give them an opportunity to actually get something on the board and then get them moving forward. He's not that far out, so he's probably going to be around about 25 when he kicks. 25 metres out, slight angle.
So Dos Santos comes in and he's pushed it to the right. Here's a backman, Ashley. So maybe a bit uncomfortable in front of goals, but that one's another opportunity gone missing. 1 goal, 10-16. They trail Waratah 9-1-55. had more scoring shots, but they trail by a long way, 39-point margin. Kicking out from fullback will be Collis. He goes inboard, finds Carlin in the defensive 50. He's got an option out wide, instead he goes short. Collis hits the deck behind play. Umpires see nothing in it. He now comes back, goes to Brody. Brody gets their hands off to Bowd. Bowd goes to Silver. Silver takes a mark in the middle of the ground. The wheel around, umpire plays him on. Don't the target, he had 2 to beat. Spills out the back line, no it doesn't. Hits the deck at the floor. Brody Newman kicks it, and there's a free kick going the way of Daniel Fuller from that contest. Just a high tackle, or a high hit there.
And Fuller will restart play on the 50-metre arc, and he goes in shot, picks out McLean, who plays on quickly. Got 2. Kicks it sideways and long. Hope there versus his opponent in Clee. Clee wins out. Back inboard. Here they go again, this time through Arbin. Arbin looks upfield. He doesn't have a huge amount of option. Newman is giving him one, but he plays on quickly to Arbin. And he kicks it straight to in the Liam Patrick territory. In there though, can't get it. Comes out into the hands of Patrick. Patrick's kick lands in his opponent, Dylan Collis, who had dropped back. Collis gives it off to brother Will. Will goes inboard and picks out Golden. Golden up again to Morris. Morris handball over the top to Carlin, who balks and then goes on again to Morris.
Look at the runners, they're just running harder, Ashley.
They are. That was Golden again, sorry, who'd worked up. And that is Will, who started this passage of play in the back line. So Will Collis sends it up to the square. Mitch Taylor is there though, and ever reliable, takes a strong mark.
He now goes across to Marcus Totham on the back flank. Totham doesn't like a lot, but there's not much beyond him, so he'll have to switch again. He goes back to Brody Newman. The Wanderers look very tired as we hit the 25-minute mark of this second quarter. Again goes to Dos Santos. Had that last miss. Again he switches play, so that's 1, 2, 3 switches in a row. Now with Wheatra. Wheatra has nothing long, so he goes short, sharp in the middle, finds Boyce, and you need to find a play there, particularly late in the quarter. Wouldn't have wanted to give away a red time goal. Siren beats them, and they'll go into half-time wondering where that second quarter went. Waratah 9-1, 55 to the Wanderers 1-10-16. It's a 39-point margin, and Waratah, they put on 6 goals to none that quarter, Ashley.
Yeah, and multiple goal scorers for Waratahs. Jaden Magro has 2, Edward Morris has 2, and Marcus Waddy has 2. And Marcus Waddy's second goal was potential candidate for goal of the year. And for the Eagles, just Marcus Totham has the 1 goal, and they've got 10 points. I won't go through those goal scorers. We'll come back after a short break here at TIO Stadium. Brings it all the way around, and they're happy with it, and he's got his second. Has a chance to send the Eagles into attack, and he does.
Well done.
Picks out his cousin Stephen. Got a goal. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I back him. Beautiful conditions. Hit it like a plum.
Oh.
Thank you, Stevie. That's Wanderers first.
That is a leader's goal.
By himself, Doyle, he drops it. He's got attention there from Drake Thompson. That's holding the ball. Well done.
It was all over him.
So Thompson needs to go left goal post. It has. That's a magnificent kick. That was a fair roost. Ball comes down there to Dawson. Geez, how do you escape out of that? Well done. Coming through hard there. I think that was Briscoe as well.
Hands was Newman. Hurried kick, it's going to bounce. Silver's the Yusuf is the danger. Silver Yusuf gets it on the first bounce, steps, turns, balks, runs, goals, puts it down, and then as he goes
well done.
That is a candidate for goal of the year.
We'll go take 2.
Yeah, just interesting. Marlon Motlop just having a bit of a discussion there with Alex Harvey. See Arena. Pint versus the Wanderers as Thomas shot. Guides that through on his right foot.
Beautiful kick.
Players,
Oof.
it's out loose. Silver Yusuf's in there, spins
Oh.
straight into trouble, gets picked up and legged for his help. Then it comes out to shot, right foot snap, has put it through, and Pints open up a gap of 10 points.
He lost there by Dawson, handballs wide, kick out in front of the Muck's bench there. The Pints plays first there. Manages to escape the tackle. I think that's Trotter or Dawson. Goes with a penetrating left foot kick in. And that's a great goal from out there. That's Trotter. Well done. He's kicked his third.
All over the top. Can they get it? No. Loose. Silver Yusuf from 40 directly in front. Lines up and puts it through.
Well done. Jeez, he's a good player. He's fired today. That's
Just looking the goods. Carter has just dominated 27. The Andrew Jones, that is. And as they go forward again, that's a great lead and mark. And that's Trotter.
at this.
As Trotter comes in and sets it up, and it's pretty good. It's going to go through, and he gets his sixth right on the siren. So Pint finished this game 13 goals, 583 to the Eagles, 5 goals, 636.
It's down the ground. Beautiful pick up there from John O'Farah. He goes inboard. Travis Varco, the target. He's all by himself. He'll run into an open goal. He takes one bounce. This is the way he likes it, Travis Varco. And he kicks the first of the game for the Palmerston Magpies. He'll take it and go. He gets to 50. He kicks. Very cheeky kick inside the corridor. Ham's good to get a fist in there. Stokes will pick it up again. He'll have another opportunity. Gets through, dances around, rolls onto his left, snaps towards goal. It's gone through. What a goal from the captain. Jared Stokes opens the goal scoring account for the Darwin Buffaloes. And that picks it up. He does have a bit of space, makes a bit for himself. Kicks it to a 2-on-1. Not sure about that, but it bounces out the back. In there was Adam Parry. Ball bounces towards goal. Has that gone through? I think it has.
Wow.
Screen, sorry, I should say, is the kicking end. Kick forward now. Goes from Treacy. Good strong mark there from Willie Farah. He just bounced up, took the mark and bounced down, hit the deck hard. Him, as you can see in the foreground there. Clahisi instead goes inside 50. Gibson can't take the mark. Rolls through though. Here comes Offermans. Offermans to Varco. Varco on his left, snaps towards goal. And the Magpies have 2 in a row. Yeah, another Stokes gets their hands over the top to Palmer. Palmer will keep running. Sorry, that's Cooper. Now comes in. Armout Watkins finds himself back up forward, kicks towards goal, and that's gone through. Centre half back to centre half forward. Ball through. Farah threw the ball onto the boot. Got it forward 30, close to the boundary line. Gee, good work there from Proctor to just read it. He goes inside 50 now. There's an open goal square. He goes towards it. That could bounce through. It does. So the Magpies put momentum back on them. Just works it forward. Could have done a bit better. Jetta tackled. Ping for holding the ball. Great offensive pressure. And it'll be the captain, Jared Stokes, line.
Chesty
Comes in on the siren as it sounds. Jared Stokes. That's a beautiful kick. And that's a great goal.
Look at the Buffs coming around him. They're all getting up and excited. Let's kicks it straight into Dana Coulthard. Coulthard with the grubber along the ground of Palmer. Palmer to Robinson. Robinson snaps around the corner. Over the umpire's head. He didn't move. And he points to the crowd. Man jump there. That one nearly got him an Oscar. Stokes, he takes it, hands it up. Varco, though, he runs around, snaps it on his right. He's very happy with that one. And the Pies put 8 points between them and the Buffs. Guthrie's lurking as well. Pendlebury took it. Guthrie sweeps it up, snaps it over. Is that the match winner? Eric Guthrie kicks another captain's goal.
Might be a shot at redemption for him. He is looking for a side player there in Philo.
So he goes inboard, and Philo will go back, you would think, and have his second shot at goal. Screen as Brody Philo comes in and sets it up and lets it move across, and the goal umpire stays stationary. All clear given, and Philo gets his second and Nycliffe second. McQueen leading the race to the ball. Balks one way, goes the other. Now he's got time to have a bounce, and he does in the wet conditions. That's confidence. And then he puts it in looking for Woodcock, who takes a great mark falling backwards. He's going to be too far out, so he plays on quickly, beats one, then has to give a handball over. Here's another one. It comes to his teammate, and that teammate was Fraser Driscoll, who drives it through.
That is impressive football in these conditions, Ash.
Punched away, though. McManus picks it up, sends it back inside, looking for Dennis. Dennis has got a hand on it as he marked it inside.
God, that's using that height to an advantage, isn't it?
It is.
He hasn't looked around.
No.
He's certain
He's
on
going
it.
to back himself, and he's just put it straight up. It's going to fall a little. As it's gone through, the question is this. Umpire was in a great position. I reckon it's all clear. Get a hold of it and get it on was Maney. Schwartz just spins out of one, runs around another, runs around a third, chops it towards the goal square. Dunstan can't get clean possession, tries to soccer it through. George on the line. Rove it there. It's come straight out to Woodcock. Woodcock straight on the centering kick. They spoil each other. Jones onto Dunstan. Dunstan with a right foot snap. Left foot snap and through for a goal. Districts have got options in the middle now. Dean Staunton takes a step, looks up. Dennis is there, but in comes through Jake McQueen. And Jake McQueen takes a simple chest mark in the end. No angle at all. He's directly in front, and he's going to kick from about 45 out. Gives it everything. Kicks it straight. Teammates love it. He likes it. And the all clear is given. Now they're going to go away through Wines. Wines can just send it long.
Great kick.
It was, and drifting down there was Nyhouse, who couldn't quite get a hand on it. Now he tries to regather through a second effort or a third effort. Oh, just bumped off that too easily. Daniel Jackson then gets it, puts it on the boot and through for a goal.
There it is.
to take ascendancy. That's Scott Carlin. Running goal, running shot on goal, kicks on goal, kicks from 55, and that's the evener. Sam Brodie for Waratah gets the evener upper. And kicks on the left foot. Oh, dangerous kick. Waratah once again. Magro doesn't miss. He rarely misses. And he didn't miss that one.
Bad move there by Mr. Johnson from Geelong.
He was. Darcy Hope kicks. Does he kick truly? Truly, he doesn't kick truly. Yes, he does. That's his second. Darcy Hope puts another goal on the board for Waratah. In that area, they kicked the ball forward, over the back, running on into an open goal, kicks on goal, and they've got the opener. Good goal there, and that was Stanley Tipalura. So Tipalura gets the Bombers on the board, running around onto his preferred left foot. Dion Munkara picks a player out, and that might be Bennell. Is that Harley Bennell out there in the forward pocket?
Certainly looks like him.
Goes by the hand, kicks to big Majak, and Majak's got his second. And the Bombers, more importantly, have their third. In the boundary umpire, big Majak over the back, kicks it to the man, you beauty!
Shannon Rioli's first goal for the Tiwi Bombers. Read that beautifully off the pack end, ran into an open goal.
The Bomber defence has got to work overtime. They've got to keep them out. The football, Magro kicks the goal.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium for round 7 action of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season clash between Waratah and Wanderers. I'm Will Zwar, with me is Ashley Manakaros, and a bit of fizzle taken out of the game in that second quarter. Ashley, Waratah put on 6 goals to just 3 behinds, and they lead by a commanding 39 points.
Yeah, Wanderers had an opportunity late there to actually put a score on the board in terms of a goal, and they couldn't do it, which is a bit of a shame. Goal scorers to half-time, Jaden Magro has 2, Edward Morris for Tars has 2, and Marcus Waddy for Tars has 2, then 1 each to Adam Golden. Arnold Kirby has 1, and Addison Don't has 1. And for the Eagles, just the 1 goal scorer, which is Marcus Totham, and then a host of point scorers. And 11 scoring shots to 10. And it's only been in that second term when we saw that the number of scoring shots even up, because certainly the Eagles had enough of the ball early on.
And if they can return to that form they had in the first quarter, they'll still be able to make a game of it, but they need to go quickly. Kirby, he got the first hit out of the second half here. Still working it out. Eddie Morris, he gets the first clearance, just a big high ball out to the wing. Clee, he'll be first to it for Wanderers, gets it back to McLean. McLean in the Paddock's space, almost wheeled around no one. He goes onto his left now, long down the line. Collis, safe hands, intercepts it. He'll go back and have a kick. He's been a good commanding presence behind the ball in this one. That kick not great though. Silva bounces off his chest. Looks like it'll be Goulden who works it forward to Morris. Goulden, he'll get it back on his left inside 50. Goes to the fat side, intercepted there by Brody Newman.
Yeah, he was just falling as he kicked there, and it just came off his boots. Good work though, and it comes to O'Connell. Newman picks out O'Connell. He's looking for Thorne. Thorne gets one hand on it, can't quite bring it down. Cabillo comes in, handballs to himself, and tries to give his teammate a little bit of space. Comes back to Cabillo now, Joel Cabillo. Then on to his teammate in Arbin, who spills it, then's got to turn around and get into trouble. Boyce, then back to Arbin. Arbin puts it straight on the boot. Looking for his teammate there in Backland. Although it's all Tars at the moment, they can get away with it, and they do. Boyce, that was O'Dwyer. Off to Kirby, the ruckman. Kirby on the lead, picks out Scotty Carlin. Carlin just getting a little bit of space on Braden McLean, who's been called back. Carlin plays on quickly. Doesn't really have a lot to kick to. Just kicks it straight to a contest. Newman's there. Kirtley Silva. Quick hands to Carroll. For a foot race there. Carroll versus DeSantos. Taps through and through for a point. And good defensive work there from DeSantos.
Not a great entry inside 50 there. Darcy Hope put a lead in the pocket, as did Magro. They both went to the same area. And the play kicking in didn't really like either of them. Instead, he's kicked it to the hot spot. Carroll's left on his wrong side to try and scramble up something, but good work from DeSantos just to clear the danger. Kick out now from Wanderers, not great. Eddie Morris is wrapped up with it. Keeps it in enough, and we'll have a ball up about 80 metres from home for the Tars. Still, they're looming dangerous early in this third quarter.
They are. They're working very well as a team, and that's been their trademark since the start of the season. As Kirby wins out on the ball, can't pick it up there is Boyce though. Handball's out, knocked, cleaned up. Cree for Tars, slung to the ground. Simpson reaches in, but it's picked up though by Morris. Morris puts it on the boot, bounces over Magro. Fuller's in there, he overruns it. Diving on the ball there was DeSantos. Holding it in, and umpire Noonan says, give it to me, and DeSantos will be the last off the ground with Jaden Magro.
Eddie Morris has started this third quarter very well, but we had about 3 or 4 touches already. Ball goes up directly in front, 40 out from the Tars goal. Wanderers though, looking to stop it. Kick forward will come from Waddy. Big high ball into the hot spot. Newman read it best. Underneath it, takes a mark. No, he doesn't. It's play on. In the hot spot, Waddy gets it out, rolls onto his right and just drills it through, but a bit too much on it. In fact, he's kicked it, it's gone through. So the first blood of this second half goes to Waratah. They edge out now to a 46-point lead.
And Waddy gets his third. Well, Benulis in the ruck there. Newman just spills it a little bit. It's tapped out, and he handballed it off the ground, Newman, straight to Marcus Waddy. Right foot snap.
He's been impressive, Waddy. Probably not their first or their second target up forward, but he's currently leading all comers with 3 and just sort of has seemed to know where to be when the ball is going inside 50.
Yeah, he reads the play very well, as does Jaden Magro and their smaller brigade. Their smaller midfielders. Kirby, Simpson. Jumped over the top there was Simpson. Handball out though, comes from Golden. Golden gives it off to Brody, Sam Brody. Brody puts it up forward. Curtly Silver coming through, can't get a hold of it. Simpson tried to rove it. Instead it's picked up and cleared out. Bouncing, Thorne has gone back to the defensive 6. Hurried handball, grabbed high, slung to the ground and will get a free kick. In fact, he's up forward as Thorne. So Shane Thorne goes forward. And Liam Patrick whistle's gone and something's happened here. And a 50 will be paid. So something happened after the kick went against Jake Bowd, and it will go to Shane Thorne, although it's going to, because of the pass and the lead mark was taken by Liam Patrick, it will stay with Liam Patrick, who will go right into the goal square. That's a big 50. Oh no, he was inside the 50 anyway, so right on the goal line. So the Eagles have a chance to score their first goal since the first quarter, and they do, through Liam Patrick. So he gets his first. The Eagles get their second. And 10 goals, 262. Plays 2 goals, 10-22.
That one well off the ball. Bit of undisciplined play. I think it was almost in the Tars forward line, so almost within the Tars forward 50 or their back half of the ground at least. Just not great discipline when the opposition's only kicked 1 goal for the game. You want to keep them as low scoring as they can. Almost crush their hopes without sounding too dour. It's 40 points the margin now. Not a big sniff, but still a sniff for the Wanderers. Let's see what they can do from here. Morris again in the ruck, gets a hit out. Big leap from him. Tackle to the ground there was Arvin. Umpire will call for another ball up in the middle of the ground. Simpson almost tried to karate kick it there, but Kirby was there lurking. He picked up the crumbs, kicks it to full forward. Benulis, he flew, couldn't take it. Running onto it, or gets the hands out to it, is Hope. He now hands it back and brought to Silver. He'll get it back to Hope. Couldn't take it cleanly. And Wanderers maybe an opportunity at half back. No. Morris with a big long kick to Collis. Couldn't take it. Silver, he'll be there to crumb it off. Ball spills out as he's tackled. Gets it to Will Collis. Will Collis in to the centre corridor. Brody Carroll lurking. Comes off his hands. Clee, he gets it out to Keenan Smith-Thompson. Smith-Thompson, a short chip over the top. He'll get it back. Now he just belts it out of there, out of the danger zone. But only finds a Tars player down there. And it'll be James Waratah. Waratah outbound. He finds Callum Seal. Seal goes down the line. Finds the captain in Brody Carroll. He's been good tonight, Carroll. Doesn't like what he sees at the moment. Plays on. Just kicks it again into that hot spot, that centre corridor. Hope flew, couldn't take the mark. Ball spills. There's a few Wanderers plays at the fall of the ball, but it's the Tar who picks it up. Jaden Magro picks it up, rolls around on his left, kicks towards goal, just the wrong side of the post.
Well, Braden McLean was worrying that through for a point. Magro just overcooked the snap over the shoulder as Braden McLean restarts play. Doesn't really have any options at all, so he's got to kick. In fact, he kicked to his teammate in Backlund who slipped it. Collis overran it. Dylan Collis in there trying to put body on the line again was White. Now it comes back to Collis. Dylan Collis sends it forward off hands. Curtly Silver just cleans it, roves it, then centres it. And in two bites of it, it was Brody Carroll, the skipper, takes a mark. And I would say from that was well within his range directly in front. He's going to go back and have a shot. And Dylan Collis comes off. In fact, that's Will coming off. Get those two confused because of the hair colour. And Brody Carroll on screen will go back and have a deliberate shot at goal. So Waratahs have a chance to just sort of steady the ship, retake some control as Brody Carroll comes in, gives it a little bit of leg, and in doing so pushes it off to the right and through for a point.
He is a known goal scorer, Carroll. I think he ended up with about 15 or 16 for the year last year, which isn't bad for a midfielder up here. Obviously you can have some games which is washed out, and the footy's a bar of soap, you only get 4 or 5 goals a side, but 15 goals is a good return. He's missed that one, but If he's resting forward, he's a dangerous proposition as well. Wanderers now come in, finds Arbin, who's been okay tonight. Goes out to Newman, the Rocket centre half back. We'll go back to McLean. McLean now comes down the line, down the wing, looking for Backlund. Backlund can't take the mark, bounces off his chest, and there's 3 ties he's got to deal with in pursuit of 3 Wanderers plays. But it is Bowd who gets it to Waddy. Waddy with a short kick there to Goulden. Made sure of it though. Goulden gets it to Carlin. Carlin inside 50 now to the hot spot. Mitch Taylor at the back couldn't take it cleanly. He's under pressure instantly. Magro hungry for the ball. He takes it now. He's tackled by Taylor. Ball pops out. Still working out there. Wanderers trying, but there's a lot of pressure down there. Kirtley Silva, he gets it to his advantage. Gets boot to ball, but Mitch Taylor just holding that key back position, and he puts it on the boot, barrels it out of there. Totham can't take the mark. Touched on the ground as he took it. Andrews, he now kicks it up. Umpire calls play on. Bounces off the player's head. Didn't really know what was happening there. Bit of a falcon. Big strong tackle there from Sammartino, and ball still alive, still going. O'Connell, he picks it up, tries to extract it, gets it through. It looks like there's a free kick for a throw going Wanderers' way.
Yeah, throw was paid and it's going to Andrews. And we'll go against Golden, who got wrapped up there in the tackle. Andrews looking for a teammate, and he finds a handball in the end to McLean. Sends it up. The flyer with Simpson at the back is Patrick, can't pick it up. In there also is Reynolds for Waratahs, who's wrapped it up, no prior. And the ball will be thrown up. Butts in the last up. By Bitterscombe. Kirby and Backlund nominate themselves. Kirby gets it and wins it out. Gives it off to Brodie. Carroll's running it through. Carroll looking for Darcy Hope, spoiled by Mitchell Taylor. Turning back into trouble though was Benulis, who gets caught, does a 360, and the umpire says that ball's gone out of bounds and we're going to throw it in. Probably lucky to get away with that, Benulis.
Had a few options as well. Carroll was lurking behind, and Hope probably not in as good a position, but he was over the top. And you're right, definitely lucky to get away with that. He spun about 2 times around. Kirby got the hit out there. Totham though, he was tackled by Carroll, and Carroll pings him for holding the ball.
Yeah, good tackle there by Brodie Carroll. O'Connell had his opportunity prior, didn't get away with it. Brodie Carroll, he's got a couple of options, looking for Hope. Taylor again at the back, comes over the back. Wheatra's in there, beats one, gives it off to his skipper, Braden McLean. Not a great kick from the skipper. A little bit of in and under, and it comes out again. And to a contest, Collis is one of the flyers. Kirby's in there. Dragged off it is Totham. Soccer there. There's a soccer paid, and in fact there's a hold, and it'll go to Totham. Hold off the ball, and Collis will go to William Collis. Will go and stand the mark. Going short comes to Butson. Butson only about 5 metres in from the boundary. Now he's got to go inboard again, and he does. And he fives Keenan Smith-Thompson, who gave it off to Fuller, who had to dive to pick it up, but it comes to Waddy. Waddy from Tars on the rebound, picks out Hope. Hope marks in front of Mitchell Taylor, has time to look forward and goes.
Magro lead, had to hit him because there's a lot of Wanderers players back there. It didn't. And just caressing it over the boundary lines, Dylan Dos Santos. So good build up there from Tars, but ultimately Magro really was the only option in that forward foray. There just weren't any Tars players running back with him. And good work by Dos Santos to get to him, get a spoil in and make it an in-all contest in their back line.
Danger here though for the Eagles, because Hope is starting to become way more mobile.
Ball comes in, taken straight out of the ruck was Benulis, got it to Waddy. Waddy runs around, he's tackled. Umpire pings him for holding the ball, and a great tackle there from Brodie Newman. He'll go back almost on the apex of the 50 in the boundary line, hands it off to McLean. McLean has Butson very tight to the boundary line, won't go that wide, he just goes long and down the line. Ball spills out the back. Dill Collis, he'll pick it up. Short, sharp kick, inboard, went beyond Carlin, but he'll get it now. He then goes inboard to Cree. Cree, he kicks it forward. Newman will be at the fall of it. Can't take the mark though. Good work from Tars to keep the ball alive when Newman's presence was lurking. Still in the contest. Newman just keeping it at the bottom there. This is a crucial ball to come out. Tars work it forward there, way through Waddy. only gets it back there as far as Dos Santos, and a free kick has been plucked. It'll go the way of Wanderers.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good contest, that, as Dos Santos comes away through Butson. Benoulis on the mark for Tars. 2 number 12s. Butson goes up the line, looking for Patrick. Liam Patrick's there, but the flyer there was O'Sullivan. Couldn't quite bring it down loose. Taps it forward, though. This time to Brodie Carroll. Quick hands to Searle. Searle looks away and then gives it off to his teammate Bowd. Bowd was off to Kirby. Under pressure, though, from Patrick. Coming in was Benoulis. Spins. Quick hands. Again over the top to Searle. Searle trying to give it off to his teammate. Couldn't do it. Intercepted here by the Eagles. They still can't get away with it. Pressure's on in there. Benoulis got taken high. In fact, he's going to earn the free kick. Just taken slightly high. And you'd think it was Kirby, though. Look at Kirby's jumpers around his shoulders. Comes back inboard to Dylan Collis.
Collis, he pushes back off the mark. Switches it into the middle of the ground to Goulden. Goulden has another player further out wide if he wants him. He goes to him now. I think it's Waratah. Waratah pushes back as well. There's a lot of players in the forward 50, so he needs to be accurate. That one deep into the pocket. The target is Carlin. Can't take the mark, and it'll be taken over the boundary line by the Wanderers' defence.
Well, one of the features tonight's game that I can see is that the ball hasn't. I mean, the ball's gone out of bounds now, but it hasn't actually gone out of bounds that many times tonight. Stayed within the field of play, which is really good. Both sides having a real crack and prepared to move the ball back and forth.
Yeah, and we've seen the umpires have sort of let the ball go a fair bit as well. There's been a lot of flowing play, I should say, and it seems as though there might be some tight bodies the more these quarters go on. We saw it at the end of that second half, particularly with the Wanderers, but we'll see how long they can last in this quarter. Ball working its way to half forward for the Tars. Umpire calls another free kick, this one going the way of Wanderers, and it'll be Marcus Totham.
Yeah, we've gone 16 minutes here. 10-4 plays 2-10. Ball out wide. Keenan Smith. Or Smith Thompson, sorry. Sends it forward, over the top. Trying to get in there is Butson. Under pressure, they'll ease it out. Tars taken over the top. Liam Patrick just soccers it off the ground, but it's only going to go as far as Searle. Searle picks it up. Kick isn't great. Chopped off, though, by O'Connell. Come off the fingers of Smith Thompson. O'Connell sends it forward. Oh, the flyer early without acceptances with was Thorne. And the free kick will go to Waratahs.
He was never going to take that one, was he, actually?
Well, no, but it'll look good on a replay.
So Dwyer, he'll take the free kick from the back pocket. And plays just slowed and settled a bit. He goes a short, sharp one in the back pocket there. And he'll get it back, O'Dwyer. Switches on, he'll come to Searle. Searle has got Bowd further on if he wants him. Instead, he goes inboard. Looks to find a Waratah. In fact, it's Sam Brodie. Sam Brodie now comes to this near side wing. Collis the target. Good, strong hands. Umpire has paid it.
He's been good tonight, Dylan Collis.
He goes long, short, Hazelbeam-like pass again to Cree. Cree will play on. He'll go to Hope on the 50 against Newman. Good contest, that one. Hope try to keep it in front of him, but Newman, he'll rack it up. Does it on the ground as well as in the sky. Not a great kick, though. Morris nearly intercepted. He'll take the tackle there from Patrick. And the umpire will call for a ball up. So Liam Patrick doing the ruck duties at the moment for the Wanderers. Ball spills to ground. Still in contest. Extracted now from Smith Thompson. He goes down the wing. Mark taken by O'Dwyer.
O'Dwyer gets to start playing. Gee, he's got a number of options. One of them is Will Collis. It goes over his head, though. And James Waratah in a contest there with Thorne. Gets taken out and hasn't got back up quickly. But picking it up is Will Collis. Will gives it across to his running teammate. And he goes back in board to get it back. But he goes and chooses Sammartino. Sammartino, though, gives it over to Golden. Golden's out wide in the right pocket. On the lead is Magro. And Magro will take a mark and go back for a set shot, and he is only going to be about 10 metres out. Plays on quickly, left foot snap, and it is all clear. So Waratahs get their 11th. Magro gets his third.
That player in the middle of the ground, Ashley, still down, still on his knees.
That was a Waratah that went down there, I think.
Was copped a pretty bad hit to his right shoulder, or his right side, possibly just winded. Getting to his feet now. Yeah, just checking his ribs.
Let's watch that replay there. I don't know if we can get don't think we'll get a replay on that hit, but I got to tell you, they might have a look at it later in the day, and there's a bit of talk going on there, and umpire Noonan's right in the middle of it as they head back to reset for the start of this after this goal. Just getting everyone calmed down.
And Waratah, he'll stay on the ground, tough as nails.
Yep, just holding his ribs, but the Waratah's bench don't look too concerned. He's okay. And they'll restart in the middle. And
2 alternative ruckmen. Banula's there on Backland. It'll be the Tars who get it out of there through Don't. Cabillo leads all comers to it. He picks it up on the wing, running back. He then goes out to McLean. McLean comes through to Weitra. Weitra goes further down the line to a one-on-one contest, but beats all players. Boundary line might beat them all. In fact, it's the Tars through O'Dwyer who pick it up. In fact, it was Carroll. Carroll putting another effort in and another. Now goes inside 50. Bowed at the back. He takes a good, strong mark, solid set of hands. They've got a few players on for the switch. They'll go their first seal. Wanderers did well to man the players. Collis kept running. In the process, Carlin was left unguarded, and they've got a few players running forward again. A 2-on-1 in the middle. Morris will take the mark, and it'll be Benulis who keeps running. They've got Collis as well on the outside who kept running on the wing. He'll take it and he'll play on. Too easy for them. Magro, the lead in forward line, bounces over his head. Picked up by the full-back there in Dos Santos. Big Kirby snaps towards goal. It's got a hook a long way, but it's coming back. Just the wrong side of the post for a behind.
Gee, that looked like it was coming out. How good was Will Collis then? He's run from inside the 50 in the defensive zone and presented himself as an option just on the 50 paint in the forward zone. Just kept drifting forward. They didn't see him as Mitch Taylor will bring this ball back in to restart. He plays on and wants to kick to a target. He's got a couple of choices. Backlund, the alternative ruckman, though, but setting himself as O'Dwyer. Daniel O'Dwyer from Tars takes that mark pretty easily in the end. He was the only one that went up. He sends it into a contest. Benulis was in there. Same with Addison Don't for Tars. Picking his hands up there was Boyce. Boyce's handball's picked up by Kirby. Kirby across. Magro got taken out in a contest. Let go, play on. Weitra in front of Brody Carroll. Brody Carroll on all fours, gets it in, drags it in, wrapped up by Cabillo. Umpire says, give it to me. And that was a good contest. It was 3-on-1, so Carroll's result is actually a pretty good result.
O'Dwyer really asserting himself here on this contest. He took that mark coming out of defence from Wanderers. He's taken a few big, strong marks in the back half and at half forward even to lock the ball in their forward line. That shot towards goal, that's gone through. What a cracker that was.
That was Sammartino.
So he's been playing sort of in the middle and off half back. Sammartino has snuck forward for a goal and again extends the lead. It's one-way traffic. Since quarter time, actually we've seen 10 goals to 1 going the way of Waratah.
We just watched this replay. Sammartino just got it, threw it straight on the boot, directly in front. Hope liked it, hands went up. Yeah, we have, and you know, again, not that I want to harp on it, and you know, 12 scoring shots, 2 goals, 10. We might have seen a more complex game if a couple of those early opportunities that Wanderers had in that first term especially had come off, and it might have just been a little bit more sides react differently when they're under pressure and there's scoreboard pressure, as we would have seen, and we didn't quite see that. Back in the middle though, Kirby comes off against Simpson, one out by Simpson, bounce. Cabillo comes through off his wing, gets it, then gets collared to Thorne. Thorne has time to turn and look, and he does, to a leading Liam Patrick. Bounces off his chest a bit hot. Dylan Collis soccers it back to his teammate there in Boyce. Over the top though, the kick wasn't great and it went out of bounds. In fact, his teammate there was O'Dwyer, and the ball went out of bounds on the full. It'll restart play there for the Eagles, and it'll be Tyson White that'll bring it back in.
So White probably kicking from the apex to the 50 in the boundary line.
Looks like he's going to have a shot to me, Will.
He's had a couple in that first quarter. I think he kicked 2 behinds.
Is he left footer? Don't think he is.
He's not. It's a right-footed kick. It's another very good one at that, out on the full. Probably in that situation, I know there's a lot of traffic in the middle, but maybe just getting it to the hot spot, putting the Tars under a bit of pressure at fullback. They did okay that last contest, but ultimately turned it over. Could have proved a different result for them. Here's Collis now, playing on from that behind post. Goes long down to the big ruck and Kirby, and that's the three-quarter time siren. So Waratah will head in to three-quarter time with a 55-point lead. It's 12-7-77 leading Wanderers. A very inaccurate 2 goals 10-22. And they didn't put as much pressure on the scoreboard there, Tars, but the ball was definitely in their half of probably 70 or 80% of that quarter, if not more, Ashley.
Yeah, they will, and we'll come back for an intriguing fourth quarter after these messages here at TIO Stadium.
To the left of your radio, they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium here. We're about to get away for the final quarter here of the Round 7 clash between Waratah and Wanderers here in the 2022-23 NTFL Men's Premier League season, brought to you by TIO. I'm Wills War, with me is Ashley Manakaros. And there's a 55-point barrier here between Waratah and Wanderers. Tars 12-5-77, Wanderers 2 goals 10-22. And Ashley, you mentioned it just before the three-quarter time break, but you wonder if Wanderers had hit a few of those first quarter misses, if we'd be telling the tale of a different story.
Yeah, the game, yeah, that's right, and the game is underway, and they're made even harder, Will, because Stephen Motlop has left the field and got changed. As Will Collis, we'll talk about that again in a minute, but Will Collis gets it first time and puts it on the boot. Kirtley Silver bounces over his. Spinning out of trouble there was Braden McLean, who gave it off to his co-captain in Mitchell Taylor, but Taylor's kick is chopped off by Dylan Collis. Dylan has now got it over to Carlin. Carlin, who was on his own as the result of Taylor moving forward. Carlin goes in short. McLean gets a hand on it, punches it, comes to Darcy Hope. He can't regather. Socket off the ground by McLean. Over to a teammate there in the end to Daniel Clee, who bounced around and balked and then gave it off to the big man Simpson. Simpson goes inboard and picks out his teammate Arbin. Arbin on that back 50 gives it off to a leading Totham.
Boyce. He goes back into Arbin. Arbin now through the middle, goes across this far wing without really looking, and Totham's got three to beat. One of them's the captain in Carroll. Carroll lost his feet, and Totham, he's done a good job there, kept his feet, read the ball a little bit better, goes into full forward, but good take there from Bowd behind. And he now goes out of the defensive 50. He finds Cree, Tom Cree, who's been okay in this second half as the game has gone on. Turns around quickly and finds Eddie Morris, who meanwhile has probably stepped off the gas a bit in that third quarter, but he'll play on now. Kicks it inside 50 to the lead of Magro. Good, strong mark. Hands in front of him. And McLean was never going to get a fist in there.
No, good contested mark there in front of a bigger opponent. Well done. Jaden Magro, he's going a long way back, so he's backing himself. In fact, he kicked one from about that distance last week, I think it was, against Districts.
Yep, he can kick this one. He's got a decent boot on him. So Magro, he's walking in, he'll be about 55 or 60. Kicks it, not a great kick into the pocket, but Waddy, he's lurking, he's reading it, kept it alive.
Oh, and the ball went out of bounds. Oh, how unlucky was that? They had 1, 2, 3 there. They had all lined up. They had Morris, they had Brodie Carroll, and they had Will Collis all there, so he could have taken his pick, Marcus Waddy.
And Morris would have taken that mark if it had been kept in as well on a pretty good angle. But instead, we're at the bottom of the ball up.
Oh.
And Benulis just pushed his opponent underneath it. Clee, he gets a handball out. Follows up the tackle on Waddy. Free kick being paid for holding the ball. Clee has been okay tonight. Hasn't had a lot to work with. He goes back now to O'Connell. O'Connell, he kicks it out of that defensive 50. Finds Totham, centre half back on the back flank. Pushes it forward again. Just goes through Cabillo's hands, and Tars ready to remonstrate. Creed at the bottom of it. Boyce, he picks it up for Wanderers. They kick it forward now into full forward. And that's great reading of the play there by the Wanderers forward.
Tyson White.
He's been okay tonight. He did miss those two crucial and very gettable shots early. Had another one late in that third where he probably should have passed it off, but he'll go back and have a shot for this one directly in front, about 45 metres out.
Yeah, well, they need this one, the Eagles, just to keep the scoreboard ticking over in this final term.
So White kicks towards goal. And it's a behind, so 3 misses at least tonight for White.
Yeah, the youngster, a bit unfortunate, but Tars just looking to reset and restart. They've got a couple of options, and they'll go in short, and they'll pick out themselves Morris. Morris has a look up, and he himself has got Searle. The contest, though, tapped away from him was White. Tripped as he went. Play on is the call. Tap forward now. Couldn't quite get away with it. There was O'Dwyer, and it's come back over the top through O'Connell. O'Connell surges through the centre.
Not a good handball over the top. Put his player under pressure. Morris is there to pick up the crumbs. He got it out to a teammate. Good work there to intercept from Boyce. He spuns around, kicks it now to a lonesome player, and it's Tyson White again, is it? No, it's Shane Thorne. Just left with a bit too much space, and a low pass like that one found him without too much trouble at all.
Well, it's good that the Eagles are actually moving the ball around and giving themselves opportunities and shots at goal. We want to see them convert. That's the most important thing. Still working though. Don't know if Waratahs have taken their foot off the gas a little bit here. Will?
Thorne comes in and kicks their third goal straight over the umpire's head. They move to 3 goals, 11, 29. Still trailing Waratah on a commanding 12-5, 77. It's a 48-point lead here at TIO Stadium, 5.5 minutes into this final term.
Yeah, Shane Thorne's looked reasonably dangerous all night. Hasn't really had a clear run at it. Hasn't been allowed to. The defensive 6 of Waratahs have made his life very difficult, as they have for the rest of the Wanderers forwards. But he managed to get a little bit of space then and ended up with it and converted it when he got his chance.
Probably the most experienced territory player in their forward line there, so good to see him converting and leading by example.
Yeah, as Kirby will come up against Backlund in the middle. Restart. Backlund wins it out comfortably. Picked up though it was by Sammartino. Sammartino then looking for Kirtley Silver, who doesn't bother contesting. McLean pushes it, and then in comes Silver again, trying to pick up the loose ball over the top. Picked up though it was by DeSantos, who's wrapped up clear. Play on is the call. One-handed handball there from Smith Thompson. In fact it was Daniel Wheatra. On the ground is the Wanderers player. DeSantos can't move. Bounces over the head. Liam Patrick trying to get control. Gets pushed in the back. Will get a free kick as a consequence. So Liam Patrick goes back in a 50. And I reckon that 50 was paid for dissent. So umpire Bitterscombe paying a 50-metre penalty, which will give off to Patrick. Patrick looking for Andrews, sliding, who marks it on his chest. And will go back and have a deliberate shot at goal.
Dos Santos, that player down the back flank for Wanderers, just looks a bit ginger, looked like it was an ankle, but he's up and walking now. So in the hand of trainers, he'll make his way to the bench. And Andrews, he now starts his run up, comes in, and again that one's offline. Another one, not the easiest one they've had, but probably one that they'd like to get on a night like tonight. They move to 3-12, and reminiscent of I think it was their round 3 game against Palmerston, where they kicked about 3 goals 12 as well, Ashley.
Yeah, they've had the opportunities, certainly. Come over the top here, Tars with the runners. And they go out through Brody, Sam Brody. Not a great handball. Golden's in there, can't quite get it. Off his knees, though, he comes to the ruckman, Kirby. Kirby picks out Kirtley Silver, who has managed to find space at centre-half forward. Kirby swivels and turns, and he's got William Collis there as a flyer over the top. But it's Mitchell Taylor. Has this gone through for a point? No. Free kick's been paid to Collis for a marking infringement. 15 metres out, directly in front, and Collis will go back and take the shot. We will get a replay up in a second.
Collis just in a better position, I think, and almost forced the Wanderers players to put their eyes on him rather than the ball. They had a spare player in that forward line, the Tars, which is, the golden sin in football. They all spread out as well, and ultimately Collis was always going to get the target, being the player in the goal square, but they've run back and have taken their eyes off the ball. I think all 3 of the Wanderers defenders. Collis now walking in, and he likes that one. Celebrates straight off the boot. Gets around his teammates. And that margin, again, now out to 53 points.
Yeah, William Collis there. Both Collis boys have actually been dangerous tonight. Certainly Dylan up back has been, as we saw there. And Mitchell Taylor going in to spoil, but his teammate was the one that did the marking infringement on William. And William Collis, and a goal resulting. They've made the most of their opportunities, and as a result, their goal-kicking efficiency has been, I think they kicked about 4 goals without getting their second point for the night, Waratahs, and they're up to 13 goals 5, so they've been pretty efficient there most of the night. plays 13-5, 83, plays 3-11, 29. Simpson wins out, hands ball down, can't quite get it loose. Now it comes back out to Kirby again. Joel Cabillo, quick hands over to the big man Simpson, gives it off to Butson. Butson's got to turn one way, then the other. Then it's an underground kick looking for Joel Cabillo. He's going to just keep it in by a metre. Comes over to Thorne. Thorne gives it over the top. And turning onto it is Boyce. Boyce has his kick smothered though by O'Sullivan. Cleaned up there by Samantino. They're still trying to keep it going, Tars. Now this is going to be rough. It's Waddy. Waddy over the top. Picks out his teammate in Morris. Morris can go back and have a look. Doesn't have a huge amount of it. He's got Benulis. There's no one in the goal square. Instead he goes in short and finds Magro.
Beautiful kick there. He had Darcy Hope a bit further, probably out of his vision as well. But what I've noticed, even just in that last passage of play, Ashley, is both sides are taking risks. But the difference is Waratah's making risks when there's players in support. As we saw there, Morris was there. He took it easy. If he didn't take that mark, there was about 3 players running back with the flight of the ball. Meanwhile, Boyce, he's played on at half forward down the other end. Ball's been smothered and intercepted, and there's been no one there to gather the crumbs.
As Magro comes in from 50, it's a big range bomb and will go all the way through.
His 4th of the night.
So he tops the goal kicking board for Waratahs. He's got 4. Marcus Waddy, number 34 for Waratahs, has got 3. And then 2 to Edward Morris, and then singles to William Collis, Adam Golden, Arnold Kirby and Addison Don't. And for Wanderers, just the 3 goal scorers, Thorne, Marcus Totham and Liam Patrick.
A single also to Sammartino.
Oh, Sammartino.
For Waratah.
Oh, I missed him on my list, but yes, he's on the list. 3rd quarter.
So we head now to a 60-point ball game. Biggest of the match. And Arbin takes it out of the middle, wrapped up in a big Brodie Carroll tackle. Kirby, he took it, got it forward. Waddy, he now kicks it to big Darcy Hope, and gee, that's what a mark that is. It's hit him on the chest, and he's taken a chest mark, but just took it in a way where Newman wasn't really going to get his hands involved either. He's got a big, broad chest, hoping if you come in from the side, you might be a chance of getting a fist in there and smothering it, but if you're behind, as Newman was there, as long as rangy as your arms might be, if you're Brodie Newman, you're not going to get in there easy.
No, and he'd probably be one of the best contested mark players in the competition, and I'm putting people like Matty Dennis right at the top there, but I think Darcy Hope is right there when it comes to contested mark, and he gets an opportunity to convert for the first time tonight.
So Hope, he likes that one. It's gone through, and the Tars, it's all red and white at the moment.
Yeah, Darcy Hope there getting on the board. He's actually had a pretty good work rate tonight. Hasn't been able to convert though, and that's his first goal for the night. Handy forward is Darcy Hope, and a handy contested mark, as he just demonstrated then. Good use. He's very good at reading the ball in the air and the play, so absolute benefit and very mobile. And Simpson goes back into the middle. Waratah's midfield takes on a little bit of a different look. They haven't thrown Magro in there, and they haven't thrown Waddy in there. Waddy's on a wing, and as you've got Cree, Carroll, Golden. One out though by Kirby, comfortably comes to Golden, who can't beat the tackles. Picked up by O'Connell, who has to turn one way then back the other. He goes out to Smith-Thompson. Smith-Thompson with a bit of pace, then just puts it straight on the boot, kicks it over the top of Fuller. He's going to land in the hands of Dylan Collis though. Dylan, one bounce, is in the hands of Morris. Morris gives a handball over. Here they come again, back to Morris. Morris with a left foot, not a great kick high, but it's going to be taken on the chest by Benulis.
He's taking everything in their forward line at the moment. 3 good strong marks in a row to the 3 big fellas. Magro, then Darcy Hope, and now with Tom Benulis. He's had a pretty good game. He deserves a goal and has earned his opportunity here.
Well, when he's not up forward, he's actually in the ruck.
Benulis walking in now. Will be kicking from about 35. Strolls in, kicks it. Big high kick, but it's through. And as we said, deserved that goal. And the margin now blows out to a 72-point lead in favour of the Tars.
Well, Wanderers, I hope, haven't dropped their bundle because there's still about 10 or 12 minutes to play in this quarter. But certainly, Tars on a roll. They've kicked 3 in about 7 minutes and really kept the Eagles under pressure. And they haven't stopped with the body either, Will. They've been physical most of the night and really putting their opponent and ball carrier under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. They play a pretty tough brand of footy, Tars, and if they get knocked down, they're picking each other up if they're not already up themselves, which is probably why they're one of the ladder leaders and premiership favourites in this competition. Kirby again wins the hit out down. Goulden gets a hands from Cree and kicks forward. Hope at the bottom of it. Good fist in there from Newman that time. Waddy at the bottom of it, tackled by Taylor. Umpires let it go. Kick forward to Carroll on a tight angle, but beautifully hit from Scott Carlin, and not a bad side for a left footer. Looks like he's having a look inboard, but he's more than capable to have a shot here from what I've seen of him play. Just establishing his line with the umpire. He'll run around and have a snap on his left. Umpire calls play on. Just hooks it a bit too much and it's a behind to Carroll.
We had good vision on that, Will. He certainly gave it every opportunity. As the Eagles bring it back, lands in the hands of O'Connell. Over the top to Newman. Newman hasn't been able to be as effective as previous weeks. It comes to Totham. Totham goes back inboard to Braden McLean. They've got 2 options out on the grandstand side. They go back in midfield, picks out Butson, who's got a dive to take the mark, but does so. Butson thought about giving it back to McLean, and then he goes in short and finds Totham. Totham has got a handball over to McLean, who then gives it out to Smith Thompson, has to wait for it to bounce. Here we go, under pressure straight away as Totham doesn't quite get rid of it, and he gets pinged for holding the ball. Great second effort there.
Eddie Morris calling for it, absolutely yelling for it, was Goulden, about 10 metres inboard. He's found him. He now goes short and sharp. That was an absolute...
How good was that pass?
Fantastic pass. Lace out, and he's found Will Collis, who will... It looks like he's going to go back and have a shot here. He'll be probably from outside the paint when he kicks it. 17 minutes gone in this one though, and 73-point buffer. Maybe not the worst time to have a shot on goal from here. Collis backs himself. He's wheeling it back, and it's gone through. So Collis, he kicks his second in this final term. And it's definitely party time for the red and white.
Yeah, that was a great goal there from Will Collis, as we see Dylan Collis sitting on the ground there, getting some treatment on the knee. So it doesn't look like he's going to go back on again, but he's had a big night out in the defensive zone for Waratahs. So he's earned his rest. But huge effort there. Huge effort there by Will Collis. What a great pass too it was from Goulden. I mean, that was, as you called it, lace out, flat, straight to him, hit him on the chest. He didn't have to move.
No, fantastic kick. And didn't have to wait for it either. Just as soon as it left the boot, it was no sooner was it in his hands. Ball up in the middle again. Kirby gets a hit out against the undersized Backland, but Wanderers kick it forward. Still a bit of bark in them yet. Simpson, he'll run onto it, try and cram it. Got a long way down to pick it up, and he can't. The Tars get to it first. Back kick not great. Matthew Motlop couldn't take the mark. Bounces out of him. Will Collis doing it at the other end of the ground now. Holding him. O'Connell will be first to it. Thought it was going to roll out of bounds. Instead he runs onto it. He goes inboard. He finds Backland. Backland now runs again to the top of the 50. Kicks it to the hot spot. In a better position there was the Tars defender, but he couldn't take it cleanly. And White, he snaps it. Check sides from a very tight angle, but goes the wrong side of the post. Another behind.
Probably missed that then, but O'Connell's pickup was absolutely sensational there. Just reached down one grab off the ground and then just kept going. As the ball comes back in and lands in the hands of O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan goes in short and picks out his teammate in Morris. Morris, again, just straight up the middle, finds Carlin. Carlin's got a runner if he wants, and he does, and he uses him.
Into full forward is Magro. Just beats him. Wasn't quite tall enough. They keep it alive, though. Well done by Hope. Push Newman out. Magro now on his left, rolls around, and just the wrong side of the post again. So another behind. Very well done from the two big men, in particular Darcy Hope. Just muscled his way through, got Brody Newman out the other side, and then didn't give up, kept the ball in, gave his teammate a chance. Wanderers now back into play. O'Connell takes the mark on the back flank, looking down the line, and he's got Butson long, goes towards him, but the kick is offline and finds Brock Reynolds. Reynolds has had a bit of a quiet night.
Hasn't been on much this game, but Reynolds will get his opportunity now.
Goes forward. Benoist was the target, couldn't take it. Looks like it'll come back in that same direction again, but it's Searle who'll take the mark. Goes back to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer goes to the run of Goulden and the run of Don't. Don't couldn't take it. Gets it to Goulden now. Goulden, he'll chip it back into Bowd. Good pressure there from Simpson just to make it an uncertainty. And now it's picked up again by Searle. Now with Goulden again. Rolls around. Just a short, sharp one to Bowd. Bowd rolls around now. And they've still got legs, the Tars. That one inside 50. Bounces through the hands of Patrick. Kicks out there from Dos Santos. But Tars, they're still going. They're still just wanting a bit more fun. Don't. He hands it back to Bowd. Bowd now rolls onto his left, kicks it inside 50. Hope the target. Good mark there from Brody Newman. He goes a short one to Clee. Clee a hand over the top to O'Connell. O'Connell instantly under pressure, but just manages to step his way through it. Good pursuit there from the Tars defender in Waratah. And sorry, it was Sammartino. The kick down the line.
We'll go to Thorne. Thorne, a little bit of a nudge in the back there, so he gets an opportunity to give a call to play on, and he does, and he goes back inboard and picks out Liam Patrick, who juggles it, but then brings it back down. So Liam Patrick,
unsure of where to go next.
So he goes over the top, and White was on the lead and hits him on the chest.
Good kick.
Yeah, it was, and good from Tyson White to continue to present himself and give him an opportunity to get his first goal for the night. He's had opportunities during the night, but that was a good lead and well-weighted kick from Liam Patrick. And White in front of his opponent there. He will go back and have a shot from a fair distance. Shouldn't be much. There's no angle to talk of. And really, it'll just be about accuracy and whether or not he is able to keep it straight with a little bit of extra, and he does. Long. It's going to fall a little bit short. Off hands, though, and will go through for a point.
Another opportunity gone missing for White. I think you're right there, Ashley. He's probably hasn't had his kicking boots on tonight, but he has kept presenting, and he's shown with the amount of shots he's had that he can make those opportunities for himself. So if he can start getting his kicking straight, he'll be an important player for them up forward. Tars now back in. Searle, he gets out of the defensive 50. Finds a teammate there on that back flank. They keep going down. Now with Bowd. The defensive half of their wing. Doesn't have a lot to go to. Looks like he'll do a switch back to the general down there for the Tars. O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer plays on now, comes out this near side to the big ruckman Kirby. Kirby made to work for it, but a good mark.
Nimble. This is the thing about Kirby. You're underestimated, but he's fairly mobile for big guys. Kirby goes back in board with a great kick to Carlin. Carlin then sends it up, and he's got Hope in there, and it's bouncing through. Chase and race to the ball, but the boundary line will beat them. Waddy was in there, couldn't grab it, and guided over by Braden McLean. And so the play will restart. It'll be around about 15 metres around from the Waratahs goal. And Kirby then just showing how good he is in terms of on the run and making himself mobile as a ruckman, giving them an avenue out. Benulis in the ruck versus Patrick. Over the top, though, it was to Braden McLean. Quick hands. Loose on the ground, picked up by Waddy.
Waddy sends it into full forward. Given a nudge out was Hope. Play on is the call. Coming through there and knocking it through for a point was Matthew Motlop. Taken out there on the ground, though, was Sammartino. And by DeSantos, and the umpire just let it go. And it'll be Mitchell Taylor to bring it back in.
He's been okay down in the back line tonight, Mitch Taylor. Obviously, it's been down there a fair bit. But still, as the captain should, just keeping a lid on things. That kick, big barrel, but it'll only go as far as Jack O'Sullivan. He's got Brock Reynolds out wide, calling for it all by himself, but he won't go there. He's just looking ahead into that central corridor. A big, strong lead from Magro. It goes beyond him as well. Looking to Benulis. Good fist there from Newman, and Hope he should be first to it. It's paddled over the boundary line by Matthew Motlop.
Yeah, no, it's deliberate. That was a good call by the umpire there. Maybe we can get a replay of that last free kick, but you'll see there a sliding Matthew Motlop just actually took that out. And it was a good free kick. He was under pressure. I don't think we're going to see it just yet, as Hope will go back and have a shot. He's on a real angle. He's on the fence there, Will.
Tight angle. We've seen a few from here tonight. I think Brody Carroll was a bit closer in. Tyson White, probably a similar position. Darcy Hope, what can he do from here? Kicks it. That's, gee, not a bad kick, but it's just faded right late. And that one too, out on the full by the looks of things. So Liam Patrick will be kicking back in.
Darcy Hope asking the question there. Hang on a second, that was a point. And umpire Noonan's calling in the boundary and calling in the goal. Just asking. I mean, Hope wants the score registered either for Waratahs or for himself. I don't know. Maybe it helps his stats. But maybe I don't know if we can get a replay up of the deliberate out of bounds. No, don't think we can. But it's actually hit the post. So the boundary umpire was correct. It was out of bounds. And hit the post in the air as it gets brought back in to Braden McLean by Mitchell Taylor, and the siren sounds to end the game here. Round 7, TIO, Waratahs versus Wanderers. Waratahs 17 goals, 110. Beat Wanderers 3 goals, 14-32. Will, quick thoughts, and you can do the goal scorers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Waratah showed why they're probably premiership favourites. This will put them back into first place on the ladder for a week at least. They do have the bye next weekend, and Palmerston, who are their main contenders now, sitting second, 2 points behind with that draw, will have an opportunity to retake that lead next weekend. But yeah, as I said, I think Waratah are probably the premiership favourites at this stage. I really don't think we've seen the best of them this year, which is pretty scary given the fact they are top of the ladder. But they'll just keep continuing to go. Onto the goal scorers tonight, and there was plenty for the Tars. Magro led all comers with 4. We also had Marcus Waddy with 3, and 2 to Eddie Morris early, and 2 to Will Collis in that last quarter. Singles to Adam Goulden, Tom Benors, Jack Sammartino, Darcy Hope, Arnold Kirby and Addison Don't. For Wanderers, it was just the 3 goal scorers. Singles to Shane Thorne late, Marcus Toddem kicked their opening goal, and Liam Patrick. Best players for you tonight, Ashley?
Well, I think that Dylan Collis up back was amongst their best. Adam Goulden in the midfield was also sensational tonight and really worked hard for the 4 quarters. Early on, Scotty Carlin provided an avenue, and Brody Carroll was also excellent, playing his usual captain's game. And then we saw up forward, obviously, Jaden Magro capitalising on the opportunities presented. He kicked a goal in every quarter. And also chipping in as well was Marcus Waddy, so their small man. And let's not forget, of course, the big fella Arnold Kirby, who worked very hard. Wanderers, a little bit of the players came in and out of the game that gave a little bit. I thought that Bo O'Connell was around for the 4 quarters. They lost Stephen Motlop by the start of the second half or third quarter, during the third quarter. So that was that. And I think up back, their forwards, their defenders just got dominated. Usual benefits of Mitchell Taylor being up there, but just not enough winners in the middle of the ground. Cameos from Thomas Boyce, and also cameos from Shane Thorne when it came up to him. But unfortunately, just not enough winners around the ground, and they were beaten tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head there with the best on ground. For me, I gave 3 votes to the big fella Arnold Kirby. Couldn't have had a better game from him, as you said. He's nimble, he's big in the air, and quite skilled for a player of his size. Dill Collis, until he came off, was probably best on ground, so he gets my 2 votes, and 1 to Tom Benors. Just kept working up forward and in the ruck. That's all for you tonight. The final score, we'll just recap. Waratah 17-8, 110 to Wanderers 3-14-32, a 78-point margin, and Waratah reclaim the place at the top of the table. Thanks for joining us tonight. We look forward to bringing you the footy in the weeks to come.